Hi, this is Rolf Youngclass, and I'm speaking out in the October 13th, 2010 edition of the Haskell County Monitor Chief, Sublette, Kansas. We find these days that outdated Marxist terminology is still being used in political speech, terminology based on perceptions of the early Industrial Revolution. As the Industrial Revolution took place in the 19th century, working class became a term used by Karl Marx to describe those who would work for a wage, hired by business owners or capitalists. Wage slave became a term of use as well. Operating on the concept of thesis, antithesis, synthesis, society was said to move forward by the struggle of two opposing forces. In this case, it was the proletariat, or working class, and the bourgeoisie, or capitalists, the ruling class, if you will. According to Marx, the proletariat would ultimately prevail against the capitalists, and after taking over it would lead to a classless society called communism. In this day and age, it is absurd to still be using the same antiquated terminology, since even a small business owner is technically a capitalist, another Marxist term. It is very hard to define a, quote, ruling class based on one's ability to create revenue or capital. Many capitalist businesses today make less income than some, quote, working class people do, and the perks with those jobs include retirement accounts or pensions that derive some of their income from stocks, which are actually shares of ownership of capitalist enterprises. Now, I don't have any problem with someone classified as working class making more money than I do. It's just that a phony term is being used so politicians and union bureaucrats can retain their personal power. And it's just as false to portray this nation's two-party system as one of working class versus ruling class. Rich capitalists support Republicans and Democrats alike. Lobbyists for capitalist enterprises of all sizes influence both the Republicans and Democrats. If American business is generally more favorable to Republicans, it's not because the oppressors have control of it. It's because the tax policies of Republicans have historically been to lower taxes and make government and its bureaucrats less intrusive in our lives. When that happens, businesses can devote more of their time to making money and producing jobs, something that benefits all of society. That's why much of rural America trends more in the conservative direction. It's not because, as some people have said, that we have been duped by evil power brokers. It's because rural society functions better when we don't have to conform to endless dictates of a bureaucracy in Washington, D.C., supposedly trying to solve all of society's problems.